Hello everybody, it's good to be back with you all again. Now, I'm sure most of you out there already know that we are into the 40th anniversary of the absolutely gorgeous InterCity 125, you know, the HST, which is obviously pulled by the famous and very successful Class 43's. I do realise, however, that I'm not the first person to do a 40th anniversary of the Class 43 and the InterCity 125. Yes, I'm going to throw my 10 pence worth in. The reason being that there are a couple of good ones out there, really good ones. I mean, Will has done a great one, and I believe he's bought the later retooled model as well, which I haven't done that. I'm going to run and show you my original Hornby one, which was just outside the Triang era as well. So I'm not repeating what other people have done. I've actually done it featuring a lot more Class 43's. In fact, my whole fleet of them. I actually think it was back in May of the 40 years ago when the first one ran on public service. I think it was May. But like I said, as it's 2016 and we're not in 2017 yet, I've got the whole year to do a 40th anniversary video. And so here it is. Let's go. Just by way of a change, I'm not going to give you any information in this video, because if you just Google the HST, you know, InterCity 125, there's pages and pages and pages of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about other things, and I'm also here in a few seconds. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of some of what's going to come today. So here's your first quick sneaky preview. The absolutely lovely XPT, which for those of you who don't know is kind of Australia's version of our Class 43. Not strictly correct, but it falls in the same bag, man. Right, swinging round here nice and gently for you. You're going to see there we've got the Swallow set. Yep. Keep going, let you have a look. Yep. Obviously I'll explain more as we go along anyway. Let's swing over here and under. We've got the FGW. For those of you who don't know what that means, that's First Great Western. This is my all-time favourite colour scheme. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And the full set is here. Now, throughout this video, you're going to see, I believe it's 11 full sets. When I say full sets, I mean complete different liveries. And here we've got the new measurement train. Tell you more about that later as well. Yeah. Most of them are full sets, but there are some with just like two cars. That's because I haven't got all the coaches yet, but that's irrelevant. There she is, look. Yep. Now, it's absolutely impossible for me to get everything out on the layout in one go, so I've got out what I can, filled the sidings and the stations, and I've also put two lots out ready to run first. We've got the very popular and very obvious Virgin set, as you can see there. And then, of course, we've got, well, let's call it the star of the show, the original one, look, in InterCity blue and yellow. Let's make a start. Alright, first up then, let's get the XPT out. Now I can tell you that this is a Lima one. I know Hornby did one as well, but this is a set that's, I believe, about 10 years old. It's never even been out of its box. Great seller, great quality items. Yeah, now I'm trying to be hesitant here, but I don't want to. I want to keep it in camera shot for you. Yep. I don't think we're right on the straight there. I want to show all of it on the straight. Now let me pull it forward a little bit. Hang on. That should just about do it there. Yeah. Okay. So there's the powered loco, obviously, and the two coaches. Gentle sweep across. Let you have a look. And there's the dummy end. Now, the thing is with this model, I believe I'm correct in saying, if you look here on the side of the coach, look, you can see writing, danger signs, coach number, blah blah blah. I believe, if I think I have this right, the Hornby set doesn't have any writing on it at all, apart from InterCity XPT, of course. So I kind of think the Lima one's got the edge on it, but there it is. Cool. Now, like I said a few minutes ago, the star of the show. And it really has to be, because it's all about her, really, isn't it? This is the first one. This is the one that started it all off in this livery. And again, like I mentioned, this is my original Hornby one. It's not mint. It's got a little bit of play wear on it, or play worn, as people like to say when they're selling stuff, but it's really not hardly anything, and you can see yourself it really is looking pretty good. And she is a 7+2. Now I've got 3 first class coaches on the front there. I don't think that's strictly correct. There's the restaurant and then some second class coaches. I don't think it actually ever did pull 3, but it may have done on odd occasions, but you know, no big deal. Now you'll see the tail lights on here, red obviously. Now all the Hornby models, they come with white lights at the front and white lights at the back when you push it backwards, but that's got my anti-flicker free circuit in it, and I've changed the bulbs for red LED. So this one coming round has got the same. I've done all of them with LEDs. Clearly you can see the blue and white ones there on the front. Can't remember the name of the front loco. Right, couple of first class cars. I think that's 3 as well, and then the restaurant. And I feel pretty sure that I've done this one as an 8+2 for you. They did go as far as a 9+2, depending on whereabouts in the country and what region they were and what liveries, etc. They were running. Now that is Lady in Red. Come on, camera. Oh, you got it a little bit anyway. So there we go. So just move her across, and you can see again I fitted the red LEDs in the back which fade away carefully and don't flicker when it's running. Brilliant. Let's do this. Starting off today's show then with the Australian liveried InterCity XPT, and as you can clearly see she's obviously a 2+2. I've only got the 2 centre coaches which came with the original set. I'll tell you more in a bit anyway. Next up then we've got the Star, like I said, you know, the original one, the one that started it all, apart from the prototype of course, but this one's the InterCity 125 original in the InterCity blue and yellow livery, and she is a 7+2. Third up we have the very popular Virgin. Oh, and I've remembered the name of the front loco, the puller. It's a Maiden Voyager. I remembered it. Okay, and she's an 8+2. With Lady in Red on the end, which I mentioned to you a bit earlier. So let you watch some of the action. Here we go. Now while you're watching all this, there's a couple of things worth mentioning to you. All of the Hornby stuff, apart from the retooled one, which I'll show you a little bit later, they do have front and back lighting. In other words, the dummy or the DVT does have lighting in the back, but it only comes on in the reverse direction as white light. There was no red lights in them. So basically, if you're going forward, you've got the white light of the locomotive, the one with the motor in. If you're going backwards, you've got white lighting on the one at the back end, the dummy, the DVT. Now, I've changed all of this in all of mine. The front is easy to do, obviously. Change it to white light LED, which is what I've done and what you can see. The rear is now lit up, illuminated red, which it would be, of course. That's on the DVT. And I've done it in the way that basically that's what you're going to get. White at the front, red at the back, which is fine. I haven't done it as transverse colours, in other words changing from white to red, because I would always put the powered loco at the front anyway, so I wasn't really that bothered about that. But listen, get this. When the Lima set arrived, the XPT, yes, it had a bulb at the front, and I converted that to a bluey white LED. Yes, great, worked out fine, but the DVT didn't have any pickups on. It had no bulb in it, so I had to fit my own pickups to it in order to get the red rear lighting on the DVT, and obviously you can see it quite clearly as she's going round. So yeah, I thought you might find that bit interesting. Couple of views from the top. Always makes for a nice change. That was a pretty good running session there, so we'll bring them all to a halt so we can move on. I've divided this video into 4 quarters, shall we say. So this is the end of your first quarter. So there's the Virgin. Let's bring the InterCity 125 on the middle line here to a slow down and a stop somewhere near the front. And as you can see, even going slow, the LEDs are bright, which is great. By now, if that was the bulb, it would be probably not even seeable. Right, that's that one stopped. One to go. And here we go with the Australian liveried InterCity XPT. Perfect. There you go, that's your first quarter and your first 3 today. Here we are. Looking spiffing. Absolutely spiffing. Let's move on and show you some more. On to the second quarter and 3 more beauties for you. I'm going to pull this one out first. As you can obviously see, she's another 2+2. This set actually came from a very good seller who's unfortunately his father passed away not too long ago, and this belonged to his late father, and it's in beautiful condition. It's absolutely mint. There was no box with it, but the seller did do a good job of packing everything. Now look, if you look at the coaches, they usually are termed as the swallow colouring or livery, but if you look at the loco and DVT, you'll see that these are a different livery completely. These were actually classed as the executive livery, if I have that correct, and it really is in mint condition, so yeah, she's a beauty. Next out, we have the proper swallow livery, if that's the correct term to use. And now, in the past, when I've had trains which are too long to fit in sidings or stations, and I've had to do them in 2 sections, you probably remember, if you're a regular to my site or my channel, that I usually use a steam loco to do some shunting, but this time I decided to use a diesel electric, and here it is. This of course is a high mech. Nothing super special about the high mech, plenty of them about, but this one is actually reasonably rare. Here you can see the red LEDs again on the back end there of the DVT, doing the job perfectly. I'll just push these all through and I'll tell you all about what's happening in a few seconds. Now, this high mech here, it's not strictly a collector's item or something that is super rare. It is a Hornby one with a ring-filled motor, but it is actually in all blue InterCity livery, as you can clearly see there, and with white window surrounds. It's not one you see terribly often. Using the main loco now, the powered one, I'll bring out the rest of the swallow livery coaches and we'll get them coupled up together, so just stay with me while we get this round. There you can see the livery of the swallow with the bird on the front as well. We're coming around onto line 2, the middle main line, and I'm hoping to get a good couple in here, nice and steady, as you do. Here it comes, nice and gently. Yep. We're nearly there, and yes, that's what I call a really good coupling. Oh, I'm sorry about that jump edit there and the difference in speed. I have just been disturbed with the late night phone call, which a lot of my friends do because they know I'm a night owl, so sorry about that. I wasn't quite sure what speed I was doing, so yeah. Okay, there you can see the lights fade in, the anti-flicker ones, and there you can see the correct livery of the swallow as it's known. And next out, and using the high mech again, I'm pushing out some more coaches, and just look at the way these coaches are. Just look at this, look, watch. Look at them jumping. These are Hornby Mark III coaches, and they are dreadful to push backwards. I'll tell you why the swallow livery ones weren't a problem in a second. And I can hear a coach off, I can hear a wheel off, I'm not sure where it is. I'm going to keep going in the hope that I can get it round and find out what the hell's going off here. There's the red LEDs again. That's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Oh, it's definitely this one. Oh, just look at that. Oh, can you believe it? Let me put it back on. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I think I've got another coach wheel off. Oh, bloody hell. Anyway, here's the high mech again. I've just used her for doing the shunting twice, so I'll tell you more about the coaches in a bit. Okay, now pushing out more of the coaches. I think this is going to be an 8+2 set, this time with the actual powered loco, and you can see my conversion again of the LEDs on the front. So we'll just bring her round and hopefully get a good coupling. Gently does it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Well, that sounded like a good coupling. Yeah, I think it's okay. Oh no, we've got another wheel off, I can hear it. Oh, these bloody Hornby coaches are dreadful pushing backwards. Oh, can't believe it. I'll keep going, I can put it back on in a minute. Look, if I can push it back far enough just to get the final shot for you, which is fine just there. Okay, yep. I'll worry about the derailed coach in a minute. Okay, your next quarter, here are your next 3 beauties for this part of the video. Let's do this. Bringing into action your second quarter for today, we'll start with this one here. I've already explained to you, she's a 2+2, mint condition, and in the executive livery. Let her go through quickly. Yep, fire up the swallow livery. Instant LEDs on the front. Like I said earlier, I'll tell you a little bit more about the coaches in a short while. Okay, that's 2 on the go, so let's get the third one. Beautiful liveried first Great Western. Beautiful livery. I love this one. My LED conversion again. Get them on the move. Alright, perfect, and all working well so far, that's good. Fingers crossed. To be honest with you guys, it doesn't really seem to matter to me today what angles I give you on the camera or wherever I stand with it, because there's so much happening, there's always something in view. Oh, that one got a little bit covered there, but yeah, no big deal. Now, a little bit earlier I said to you I would tell you something about the coaches. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was a brilliant shot. Oh, I wish I'd left the camera going a couple of minutes longer. Oh, damn it. Well, at least you got a chance to see it. Yeah, regarding the coaches, let me explain to you. The middle line, line 2, main line 2, the coaches are actually dapple, and I got the full 8 of them brand new unboxed for 40 quid. That's brilliant. Now, if you may remember, when we pushed them out the sidings with the iMech, there was no problem, and even going around onto second radius curves, there was no problem. And yet, when we pushed the Hornby ones out, which is here on line 3, the first Great Western, they were absolutely a lot of trouble. The Mark III coaches from Hornby are a pain in the ass for pushing backwards. It's a shame really, I really don't know why. It has to do with the couplers obviously, but unfortunately the couplers do not have the facility to make a permanent bar between them. In other words, they're not NEM compatible. Okay, that's the end of your last quarter or second quarter. So bringing the first Great Western to a stop just there. I'm absolutely fine with that. Let's get the next one into view. You may have noticed that on the first quarter I ran lines 1 and 3 in anti-clockwise and line 2 in clockwise direction, whereas on this second quarter I've run all 3 in the anti-clockwise direction, just by way of a change. So that's 2 stopped. And here comes your executive livery, the last one of the 3. Start how we start. Let's stop how we started, I should say. Oh, I should have left the lights on really on the first Great Western. Anyway, there they are. That's your 3. That's your second quarter for today's video. Here we go. Well then everybody, check this out. On this third quarter I've actually done a different angle again with the onboard cam. I don't think I've ever put it on the back end of the train so that you can see the whole of the front of it going round. Now this is a 2+2, she's on line 3, she's crossing over to line 2 there. Now she's crossing over onto line 1, and I had a feeling that would do that perfectly alright because it does not have the fine scale wheels. So she's on Super 4 track, having just crossed over my special converter point. Take her around nice and slow, though I doubt it'll be a problem. Yeah, so far so good. Just need to get her into the station at the front, like there. Perfect. Next, coming from the sidings on the left hand dog leg again, we have another 2+2. I'll tell you all about them in a minute, of course. Again, she's on line 3, which she will be because she's coming off that point, which is all the sidings and stations are off of line 3. Once again, camera on the very back, looking at the length of the train. Passing the windmill. And now moving across onto line 2, where we'll put her in the station again there. Lovely. Right, now, look at this. Because I've lowered the camera, the onboard cam, we're right in the corner of the layout, under the canopy in the station. And the camera's working perfect underneath the catenary. It's not catching anymore, which is great. I should have lowered it a long time ago. Anyway, like I say, it's new angles, new shots for you, and you're going to see what this is in a minute, or no doubt some of you probably already guessed anyway, but it's coming round and staying on line 3, off line 3. Past the windmill again, camera at the back again, so nice and gently in line with the other 2, although she's a bit longer. There we go. That is now a cracking shot. I might even use that as the photo. I'll see how it goes. But look, here's these 3, and your first one here, like I said, is a 2+2, and it's in the dark green and white, or is that silver? Not really quite sure. Yeah, anyway, it's 2+2, a simple Great Western, and it's lovely. Send her on the way. Yeah, that's good. Your second 2+2, this one here, this time in the GNER livery. Now it goes without saying that these 2 are being just simply 2+2s because they are the original Hornby sets, that's how they were. It goes without saying I will obviously add more coaches at a later date. Not terribly important to do it at this moment in time, but that's the 2 of those going round, so stay with me while we move with this one. And this is the latest tooling one, and as you can obviously see, it's the new measurement train. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely perfect, and it's the correct 4 coaches in the middle, I will point out. Yep, beautiful again. Now I must admit, On the back end of the new measurement train, the locomotive there, the Class 43 of course, that's the one which has had the buffers fitted and the underneath, what do you call it? They call it the spoiler underneath, I think, no? That's been removed and had the buffers fitted. Personally, I don't think it looks very good. I think it looks pretty ugly, to be honest. But I also believe that the front locomotive has now been changed and had the underneath section removed and buffers fitted to that as well. I believe the later Hornby ones do have both locos like that, but I preferred the one with the front end without the buffers. So that's why I particularly went for this pair of locos. Yeah, all looking really good. Love the new measurement train. Absolutely adore it. I think that piece at the front's actually called the front valance. Not a spoiler, I think it's a valance. Little bit in the dark for you. Little bit of a nighttime shot. Looks interesting. Yeah, really nice. Back with the lighting on. Okay, well there's your third quarter. 3 more different liveries of Class 43. Back where we started from there with the new measurement train. Throwing the GNER down. This time round, of course. Yeah, nice steady slowing down there, I think. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it looks good. And finally the Great Western. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Beautiful slowdown. So there you have it, virtually the same shot as how we started. So, well, we're getting to the final quarter, so yeah, let's just go and do it, get the show done. I've decided to put these 3 away in a nighttime scene, which I haven't done for a long time like this, so I can tell you obviously this is the new measurement train. She's going to go right back to where she started from, down into the stations and along the platforms, and right to the end under the canopy. So yeah, should be interesting to see what this looks like. Again, because I've now lowered the camera on the top so we can go right under the catenary right to the very end without a problem. And here it's going to do it. Superb look, straight under the catenary. Excuse me. Right down to the end and to a beautiful stop park there, Cross Keys pub on the left. Double whiskey please, thank you, bye. And here we go then with the next one, which is the GNER. She's also going to go back exactly where she started from, down on that dog leg on the layout. From line 2 to line 3, she's heading towards the church here. Okay, across all the points and the section on the dog leg. Right back to the line where she started from. Oh, and if you look at the bottom on the left, you'll see the engine shed that the light's not flickering anymore. I sorted that one. Faulty resistor, would you believe it, on the LEDs. Sorted now. I'm putting away now the Great Western, the third one, which is already on line 1. Now listen, you may remember that I brought her right from the left-hand dog leg of the layout earlier, but because she's not got fine scale wheels, I decided to give it a shot at bringing her into the middle of the layout on that normally troublesome left-hand point on my Super 4 track, which is coming up here now, and she's done it. No problem at all, no derailment, so she's in the middle of the layout. Down into the stations, Absolutely brilliant. Glad that worked out well. Slowing her down now. Oh, a little bit quick, I think. Oh, a little bit quick on the buffer stop. But she's done. So then on to the final section we do, the final quarter. I thought it might be a good idea, again, to bring the locos out with the camera on the back end of the trains, like I did a little bit earlier, but this time in the dark. I don't think I've ever done this before, so hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Right, this is coming round, of course, on line 3. You're going to see what they all are in a little while anyway, so I'll tell you about that when we get to it, obviously. Yeah, past the windmill. This one's a beauty, as I say, you'll see her soon. She's on line 2 now, and I'm going to bring her right round onto line 1. I will tell you something very interesting about this, being on line 1, in a short while. Okay, past the diesel refuelling shed and the church. She is, of course, now on line 1 anyway. I'm taking her round, and the windmill yet again. Nice and gently, there she is, coming up towards the station, right on line 1 and platform 1. Couldn't ask for better, that's perfect. Again, staying in the dark. Now, I will point out to you that I've said a couple of times that I've done this in like 3 quarters. Now, as I have, in 4 quarters. So as I have 3 lines, that would automatically sort of kind of mean I've got 12 different liveries to show you. But as it happens, I've only got 11. So with your permission, and hope you don't mind, I'll rerun the new measurement train because I think she's gorgeous anyway. And this time I've reversed the direction, so you'll see. Yeah, that's fine there. Now your last one here, let me explain. Again with the camera on the back, what I've done, this one has got, I think this is an 8+2, and it means I can actually use the loco and whatever coaches she's got coupled to her to do some shunting. So we'll stop there. We're back now onto a menagerie of coaches. Gently there, look. Yep, I think we've just got a good coupling, so let's pull these out first. This is going to bring us quite a long way around line 3 because she's got a lot on the back of her already now. The full count and the livery of this one you'll obviously see shortly. So I've had a whiskey now. See shortly. Okay, back onto the last few, here we go. This is an easy bit now. Yep, come on. Yeah, and I heard that click, I think we're on. So it's time to pull all of these out. There they are. Yeah, there's the front, she's doing it. Past the windmill for the last time with this one. Round to the front, come on, here we go. You can just see there the other 2 which are ready. Let's get her into place. And then up we go. Perfect. So here you go then. Guys and dolls, here's your last quarter. Well, not quite a quarter. This is the beautiful Hornby East Coast. Obviously it's a 2+2, you can see that. This was made especially for model zone. It is actually quite rare. You don't see many, and what it does mean also, because it's rare, is the coaches are hard to find. This then is the new measurement train, as you've already seen. This time she's going in the opposite direction, and she's on line 2 rather than line 3 here. And for your final one for today's running session, here we go with the beautiful Midland main line. I love this jade livery. It's also known as the Bambi. So there's your coaches. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and I was right, that's an 8+2. Perfect. Right, let's enjoy the running session. Come on. Now, while you're enjoying the rest of the show here, guys, there's a couple of things I want to mention to you. First of all, regarding the new measurement train here. The train nowadays actually does have 5 coaches in between, because in the middle, it's got a pantograph coach, which of course checks the red catenary. Now, I can't believe that Hornby or nobody else has ever made one. I think that is definitely a call for me to send the Mark III coach to my friend Eric in Slovenia and get him to make it into a pantograph coach. And when that happens, I will gladly show it to you at a later date. Also, just moving slightly in a different direction, I'm sure many of you out there have got, your favourite sellers on eBay, or favourite companies that you use, favourite shops that you use for buying your items from, because I know I certainly do. But I've got to tell you, during the course of this video, I have virtually everything what you're seeing, but I was short of just a couple of items, and I needed them desperately, and I got them from a real nice guy named Simon. His actual eBay shop is rushvicmodels.com. His website, is that, and he's also got the email of rushvicmodels.com, info@rushvicmodels.com. And like I say, his name is Simon, and he's also bloody helpful, and you don't find that very much these days. So what I'm going to do, I'll put all his contact details in the description box below, because it's the kind of guy where if you're stuck for something, you need some help, you need to contact him. So I'll do that for you. Few different shots and angles for you as always, as I try my best to do so. I'm certainly limited to how much I can change the camera angles, because I mentioned before, the layout has got walls on 3 sides, so I'm a bit stumped, but I do the best I can anyway. Yeah, I've got my eyes on a couple more coaches for the East Coast train there on line 1. It's also worth mentioning to you that that East Coast set that was made from Model Zone, that is the later tool modelling. It's the later modelling tool of them, and I'll point that out to you in a little while as well. Right, so it's been a great running session all day today, with, well, more than one day, but you know what I mean. And so there's your Midland main line to a halt at the front. We need to call it a day now. And obviously you might have noticed that the last quarter I did run them all clockwise, and this time I've run 2 clockwise and 1 anti-clockwise, which is the complete reverse from what you saw on the first quarter of the video. So loads of different directions, loads of different stock, and loads of different liveries. Great show. I hope you enjoy it, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've been pleased with what you've seen. So stop in the new measurement train. Not my favourite end there with the buffers, looking a little bit ugly, but yeah, it is what it is. And finally, to bring us to a close for today's show, the Model Zone East Coast line. That's looking really good. That's another shot I could use for the final photo. We'll see how it goes. No more running, just 2 more things to show you. Okay, I just wanted to point a few things out to you. If you look at this one, which is the very original moulding, what Hornby used, you can see it's the roof is flat here, and I believe I'm right in saying this, that they used this mould right up to where they bought out Lima and acquired all of their tools, and I think they used that virtually from then onwards. And I think you'll find that this exhaust cover on the roof here is one of the reasons why. That I believe that is the Lima original tool, cast in from the original tooling. And then of course they went on in more recent days to retool the whole thing completely. It now comes fitted with a 5-pole motor, twin flywheels, drive on front of both back axles, very much the modern way of doing things. And if I carefully come up here, I'm going to show you, like you've seen the East Coast one running round, and that is the retooled one, very heavy, great bit of kit. Now I'm going to try and show you this, because believe it or not, those fans do work, and I've got to reach for the controller, so I'm sorry if I'm shaking about a little bit here, just trying to hold the camera steady. So let's just see. I think you'll find that they are turning. Yes, look at that. Just check that out, look. Bloody lovely. Yep, that's the one. Retooled. And obviously it's in much more detail as well, with all the lighting, singing and dancing one. So yeah, there you have it. That's the 3 different types. Now I wanted to say to you, before I actually upload a video, I always play it back and check it, because of any mistakes, anything that goes wrong. And it's okay, don't get me wrong, it's okay, but I've realised that I've actually spoke to you in the video twice about all the LEDs of fitting them and explaining about them, and that's quite simply because I've done it on different nights and forgotten what I'd already said, and also perhaps a bit of whiskey involved as well. So I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you don't mind if I've mentioned the LEDs a few times. But I might do a video actually on how I've done these LEDs in these, because they're really easy to do and the difference is extremely good. So yeah, okay, one more thing to show you and then we're going to call it a day. And so then, to say goodnight and round everything off, I thought you might like to see all the stars of the film in order of appearance. So there you go then. First of all, the InterCity XPT. Then you saw the original 125. Then you saw the Virgin, lovely. And you saw the executive livery of the 125. Then the Swallow. Then the first Great Western in that beautiful purple colour. Moving on, that's the Great Western. You saw GNER, the new measurement train, and the East Coast line, and finally, if I can get the camera around, the Midland main line. And one thing I did forget to tell you, on this one, the East Coast, she was running on line 1, which is obviously first radius curves and super 4 track, and yet on the packet, on the box, it actually says minimum radius, was it 348, something like that, the minimum radius, second radius, and it actually worked perfectly alright on line 1, which is, as I say, first radius curves. So that was good. So there you go, there's the Fleet. I won't be buying any more Class 43's for a while. There's so many different liveries of them anyway, but I do hope you've enjoyed the show, guys. So yeah, good night, God bless, see ya, bye.